A long time ago, a Zen Buddhist monk asked his master what the essential meaning of Buddhism is. The master, who was known as Matsu and who was one of the most influential Zen masters of ancient China, he just replied with another question. What's the meaning of this moment? Now, if we truly ask ourselves about the meaning of this moment, everyone intuitively gets it immediately. So what's the meaning of this moment right now? Don't know. Hey, I'm Christian, I'm a friend of the way, I've been walking the Zen path and now I'm here to inspire your spiritual journey. If we are really honest with ourselves and if we are not entangled with our thoughts that immediately come up, suggesting some kind of intellectual answer or explanation, we have to come to the conclusion that we really don't know. We don't know. I'm not speaking about being ignorant or about the lack of knowledge in a certain area, because we have been brought up getting punished for not knowing. In school, if we didn't know how to answer a question, we would get a bad mark. Or in our work environment, we would face disadvantages if we couldn't come up with an answer. We have been conditioned by society to always know, to always have an answer, even if the answer is stupid. Having a stupid answer is more accepted than not having any answer at all. Because when you give a stupid answer, the other person at least has something to work with. They'll be able to put a label on you and remember you as being stupid. They may still be angry with you or have a negative reaction towards your answer, but this way at least they will feel safe. They will be able to integrate what you have said into their already existing worldview, so they don't have to question themselves in any way and they'll be able to comfortably stay within the known. For most people, it's quite scary to leave what they know and open themselves to what is not known, to the unknown dimension of life. Nothing is scarier than opening oneself to what is not known. Leaving all security behind, every mental construct we have created to protect ourselves from reality, from the world, and fully diving into the unknown. So we typically stay within the known aspects of life. And even if we pick up spirituality and get involved in these teachings, no matter what tradition we are following, we just expand upon what we know. Before, we may have had a material worldview. Now, we have a spiritual worldview. We may have a different understanding of how the world works. We may be able to recite the Holy Scriptures and remember everything the Buddha or another enlightened being said about the workings of the world. But we haven't really left behind the mechanism that makes us see everything as being separate. The mechanism that makes us think we are not already enlightened and that we are not the absolute and that makes us forget everything about our true nature. Because if we want to do that, we have to leave the known behind and enter into the unknown. What's the meaning of this moment? Before we remember our story like I'm such and such person at such and such location doing whatever, we become really still, silent, and open. Instead of grasping the next intellectual answer that comes up, we return our attention to the felt immediacy of the present moment, and we just abide there. We're letting go of the need to come up with a good answer or a good explanation or to even make sense of this moment. We're leaving everything behind that would distort our perception of this moment. Our ideas and beliefs, the stories we have been told of how the world is working, our dreams and hopes for the future, even the expectation of coming up with an answer to this question. We let our attention sink into this effortless presence of the moment, becoming completely empty of what the moment is not. We just abide in a vast, open space of not knowing. And there will be all kinds of thoughts coming up in your mind if you do that. Your mind will tell you many reasons why it's not safe to abide in the unknown. It will tell you that it's a waste of time since there are so much more useful things you could be doing right now. And even if you're a spiritual seeker, it would suggest that there are other practices that are much more effective, practices that can get you somewhere to a place called enlightenment, which, of course, is not here in this simple moment right now. That's why Zen masters talk about the importance of having great courage in our spiritual practice. To have the courage to let go of all your thoughts that insist you are not there yet, that you are not enlightened yet, that you are not worthy of enlightenment yet, that there is so much more to do for you to maybe become worthy of this realization. Although the unknown is already here, has always been here, not depending on any effort or such, we are trying really hard to escape it. Korean Zen master Sung San said that he doesn't teach Buddhism. He only teaches don't know. That's what all Zen koans point to. That's what all self-inquiry and all spiritual practice basically points to. What's the sound of one hand clapping? This is a famous koan. If we try to answer it with our rational minds, we won't be able to get the right answer. When we practice with a koan like this, we have to use this question to fully dive into the unknown, to leave everything behind and to only keep this one question. The same is true with self-inquiry. Who am I? If we ask this question and we don't try to come up with an intellectual answer, we basically dissolve ourselves in not knowing. What's the meaning of this moment? We don't know. And this doesn't mean that we stay passive, that we abide in ignorance, or that we shut ourselves off from the world. No, actually, it's a highly active state. We dive deeper into not knowing by letting every answer, every concept, every opinion, and every point of view dissolve in this not knowing mind. We don't get stuck with any particular idea, not even the idea of not knowing. We don't just keep the thought, okay, I don't know anything in our minds, but we dive deep into this vast open space of nothingness that transcends all concepts and ideas. And naturally, an answer will come up. It won't be a premeditated answer. It won't be something we derived from our past conditioning. It will be spontaneous and direct, a response to the present moment. In Zen we say, when hungry eat, when tired sleep. There will be a direct and natural response to what the present moment is asking for. There's another famous story of a monk and a master, where the monk asked the master why the founder of Zen came to China. This question is commonly used to ask Zen masters about true nature, about the absolute truth. They don't usually want an intellectual answer on why the founder of Zen, whose name was Bodhidharma, left India and went to China in order to spread Buddhism. No, they are basically asking, what is this? What's enlightenment? Who am I? And Joshu, the Zen master in this story, he simply pointed to the outside and said, the cypress tree in the garden. He didn't come up with an explanation, saying that everything is the one or any other spiritual concept. No, he was way more radical than that. And he simply pointed to the truth, the cypress tree in the garden. That's it. And if this seems confusing to you, you're already doing great. This is exactly where Zen Master Joshu wanted to point his student. Nothing from the past that you have brought along with you has prepared you for this answer. Everything that you think you know will block you from getting it. That's why you seem confused, because you haven't let go of your conditioning. You haven't let go of trying to know the answer. You haven't let go of thinking about the answer and whether it's right or wrong, good or bad. But if you let go of everything and only ask yourself what this answer means, the cypress tree in the garden, and you dive deep into this vast space of not knowing, you will finally realize it. Because everything is already the truth. Everything has already been the truth. There is nothing separate from absolute reality, from Buddha. That's why Zen masters usually don't come up with an intellectual answer about the absolute Buddha or God or however you want to call it. They won't explain concepts or complex ideas about spirituality and such. No. They will immediately and directly point to the truth in this moment. So I ask you, what is the meaning of this moment? Answer in the comments if you like. Please also follow this account and remember to embrace the don't know mind. I've also just released an online course on the fundamentals of spiritual awakening, where I explain the core practices of any spiritual teaching. Meditate as if you are already awake, because you are. This is the premise of the course, and if you are interested, check out the link in the description. There is a limited discount since I have just launched it. I wish you all the best on your path. Your friend of the way. Bye.